I was sleeping, so.
I still forgot to make my fish burger.
That's okay. You got to do
Damn
what you
it.
got to do. Holy smokes, guys. Welcome. Brand new Old Carver Fishing Podcast. We got the whole crew in today once again. It's been a good few podcasts. Today in studio, we have myself, Luke Henches, Fish on Luke on YouTube, Northwoods Angling. We have Tara Lindsay right next door here. Tara Fishing on TikTok, Tara Lindsay on YouTube. She still hasn't made him the same yet. We're working on that.
One day.
We got Scott Goodyman, Old Carver Fishing Pro Staff, Norfin Pro Staff. He is a local here and great dude. And also we got Old River Dan once again. Two Cat Dan in the house. Danny Two Cat. Old Carver Pro Staff. And we obviously have Chewy Godinez Jr., owner of Old Carver Fishing Bait and Tackle Shop here in Carver, Minnesota. We are where we are producing this podcast tonight. We got a good one today.
Yep.
I said that last time, and it was a good one.
It was a good one.
One of our biggest podcasts ever. And today,
That one reached a lot of people.
we even had Dan prepping. He had a whole notes list going.
Yeah, he's prepping.
Dan
He's
never does
ready.
that.
This is someone today we have as a guest, someone I've really looked up to and I've been good friends with for quite a few years now. We've shared some mini motorcycle experiences at Catfish conferences.
Oh my gosh. Do you have that picture?
We've had lunches together. We've held each other dearly. And one of my good friends, Chewy, also knows him as well.
Yeah.
It is Mr.
Love
Kris Flores, Muddy River Catfishing on YouTube.
Whoa.
There he
What's
is.
going on, guys?
And
It's about time.
more importantly now, Muddy River Catfishing Guide Service,
That's right.
where you get the
Yeah.
pleasure
I got-
to fish with the main man, Chris
I
himself.
got the pleasure of looking at the boat inside the call it.
Carport.
Yep, there you go.
I like that.
Sorry,
The
Good
lock.
words.
I'm too excited. I'm excited to have it. I didn't get to see it in the water, but at least I got to see it. I got to touch it.
Chris, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you guys for having me. It's an honor.
Gosh, I'm gonna let Chewy roll it off on the start here. I've missed you. Let's just start there.
Yeah, I missed you too, man. I missed them
Yeah.
long bike rides down those
Oh, the
lonely,
coast.
windy roads.
I know the coast. I forgot he actually edited a photo, or someone edited a photo that of me and Chris on that motorcycle in the sunset riding together.
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
You didn't send me that one.
I don't know where it went. I don't know who has it.
That was
Let's see if I
hilarious.
can find
That's
it.
great.
There's got to be a story behind this, right?
No, he was giving away a motorcycle,
There it is, right there.
and we
let's see
we
it.
really got on
Is that a Grom?
I don't know if Chris is hugging you. I don't know if Chris is hugging you out of love or he's just afraid he's gonna fall off.
Oh my gosh.
It was funny.
Doesn't
regardless.
look like they're going very fast.
No.
So we're gonna call that love.
They're snuggling.
How has everything been going, Chris?
Good, man. Busy. I've still got my construction company, so Monday through Friday I'm remodeling houses, and then in the evenings I'm packing and shipping orders, and then on the weekends I take people fishing. So every day is a work day.
You're busy.
Yeah, me and my mom have a joke because she's retired, and every Friday she'll say, "Well, tomorrow's Saturday." So what does that mean, Mom? You're retired and I work every day, so what does that mean?
That's awesome.
Has guiding fishing taken any of the fun out?
You know
Or are you
what?
still loving it?
It's a different form of fun. When I first started guiding, I was so stuck on it was a mental thing of trying to put people on what I considered a big fish, you know?
You're right.
But then you look at who I am and what I've done, and a big fish to me is not necessarily a big fish to someone else. So it was all perspective. And once I started taking people out and I'd see them happy with a 5-pound, 10-pound fish, and they had the best time of their life because they had never seen a fish that big, it really just kind of opened up to me like, wow, I can share this experience with people. And the cool thing is, it doesn't matter if it's a 5-year-old kid or a 90-year-old man. If they've caught the biggest fish in their life, whether it be a 10-pound fish or a 50-pound fish, they light up like a Christmas tree, you know?
Yeah,
Yep.
they all got the same face. My fiance
Yeah,
calls that the fish smile.
That's right. And it's
She
just an
does-
honor and a privilege to
She
be a
claims
part
she
of that.
doesn't see very many of those, but
Yeah,
only on the fish pictures.
man.
Probably using a muddy cat rod.
Yeah, it's not really a replicable. You can't really replicate that when you take someone out fishing and they catch the biggest fish of their life.
No.
It's a pretty
Yeah.
special thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a lot.
I'm always-
We got a lot. I got a lot of guys here in the shop, Chris, that are targeting their personal best, and that would be a 15 to 20 pound channel cat. They can't
15 to
catch
20.
anything bigger than 10 to 12 pounds. So,
Which is normal for,
yeah.
that's a good channel cat around here.
I mean, I can
Right.
catch. I remember, back in the 90s, we can catch those 20 pounders off the ditches there in Santa Teresa.
Yeah.
Back in the golden days when all those ditches were still around and full
Right.
of water.
Yeah.
Does the Rio Grande, did they already release the water? Is it full now or?
They just did, I think maybe a couple days ago or a day ago. And it's barely, probably as we speak, it's probably barely passing Las Cruces right now, headed to Texas. So, yeah, they shut it down. It's just that we've been in that drought for so many years, and they have to conserve water. And the treaty that we have with Texas, we have to give them X amount of water, regardless of how much runoff we get. So, like it or not, Elephant Butte, the lake I fish, is not for pleasure boating. It's not for fishing. It's for irrigation purposes. That's
Yes, it is.
I've actually had the guys on my boat, and they're like, "Sorry to say, man, but yeah, we're gonna drain your lake." So we're gonna 3%. I think this year is what they're calling for, 3% capacity.
I'm sorry for laughing. That's,
No,
I'm
it's
sure-
all right.
I'm sure it's breaking your heart.
Yeah, nah. The one thing for me is as long as there's water, as long as there's enough water to get out there and enjoy it, I'm okay with it.
I'm loud.
Oh, I was just telling Dennis his mic's really loud.
I don't know if I'm loud or I'm just really excited to
He's
talk to
been
Chris.
talking loud since we got here.
Chris, he's really excited
He's
to talk to
real
you today.
excited.
He's like, I got notes, and he's looking for them in his pocket. I got notes, and he pulls out this paper, Chris, and he's like, right here, I'm ready.
So you said you got a new boat. Was it that red and white one that you could visualize your name on that YouTube video I saw with Steve?
A new boat? No.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
I know which one you're talking about, man. I fell in love with that boat. I think that was the first Catfish conference, man. But no, I've had this boat, I think, for probably about 4 years or so, maybe. At least 4 years, because I've been guiding 4 years, so maybe 5. But
Is that the one I saw?
That pontoon? It's not
Yeah.
a pontoon. It's a deck boat, but it looks like
Yeah.
that blue one. Yeah, that's the boat. I've had that
That
one.
thing sounds
Man,
sick.
I've done so much to that boat. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's already been 4 years, Chris.
I touched the boat in case you want to touch
Yeah.
my hand.
Oh
You
my.
can get those vibes. Okay.
I don't know
Um,
where that thing's
We
been.
got a comment / question. Moreno Pastor Manuel says, "Hey Chris, can you do some more float tube flathead fishing videos, please?"
I plan to. Those float tube videos, I have to time it right. It's a certain time of year where the water level is low in my fishing spot, so I can get in there with a slow current, and I can actually work that float tube. Because most of the time where I'm fishing, that has a pretty good current to it. So, but yeah, it's in the works. I actually bought my son a float tube, so now he can go float tube fishing with me. So that's gonna be an experience for sure.
Nice.
If you guys do have any questions during this podcast for us or for Chris, make sure you post them in the comments and we can highlight them here and get to them. So,
Oh, and Paula Smith is in the house.
oh, Paula,
Hey, Paula.
I was checking out your. Those are her signature rods, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah, those are cool looking rods.
Got one left.
Oh, you sold them all?
Just one.
Jeez. One left, Chris.
I know where you can get some more.
All right.
Are you sure?
So how's have you been? Are you doing construction full time still?
Yeah. So from like 8 to 5, Monday through Fridays, just remodeling houses, showers, bathrooms, pouring concrete, whatever you want,
Damn.
we do it.
Jeez. Then you're
Yeah.
guiding just on the weekends?
And then I'll do 2 trips on Saturday, 2 6-hour trips on Saturday, and 1 6-hour trip on Sunday. And then
Wow.
I come home.
Wow.
So then you do all your shipping after your work.
Yeah, get
So
home.
you
and
literally you just work nonstop then.
Mm.
I just
How
work.
far-
Yeah.
When do you sleep?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah,
How far is Elephant Butte from Cruces?
it's an hour drive.
An hour drive, huh?
Yeah.
That's right to that.
So I'll get up at on Saturday morning. I'll get up about 3:45 and then start driving out there. Get there, get my boat all set up, squared away, launched, and then wait for my clients to show up and hit the water. But I love it, man.
Most of the trips you do are in the morning.
I'll do one in the morning on Saturday, one in the evening on Sunday, and then another one in the morning on Sunday. Yeah.
Holy cow.
And you want to get into guiding?
Whew.
No, I'm gonna join his construction crew.
Oh.
I would love that, man. That'll give me some more time to do all this other stuff. I just started building these. Fran gives me a hard time. She because like I can't. You're asking how I sleep. I don't really sleep. Like once I go to bed, my brain's still going, so I gotta look at YouTube or something random. So I'll get on eBay and just start looking up random stuff. And one night I found these glass fish. They're like bottles that are shaped like fish. And I started thinking, I could turn those into lamps. So glass bottles, right? And then Fran tells me the next day, she's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, look, I found these bottles. I'm gonna make lamps out of them." She's like you don't have enough going on. And
So where can we find these
I'm
lamps?
sure.
I post them on my Facebook page. I've made 2 and sold them so far right away. But yeah, if you follow my personal page, I'll post them up there. They're pretty neat. I'll
You
take
should probably
I'll
put
take-
your signature on those things.
Yeah.
I'll take a
What do you-
piece of driftwood and then I'll mount the fish on it, and then I'll put a in the background there's it's like a branch, but the branch lights up. So
Sure.
it looks very natural, but then it
Nice.
lights up really cool. So anyways, just something else to do because I've got nothing else going on.
My gosh.
Chris, you got any kids?
I do. I have 2 daughters and I have my son. My oldest one is 25. The middle daughter, she's 21, and then my son is 12.
Nice.
And
What's
my
your
middle
best?
daughter
Sorry.
just made me a grandpa.
Woo,
Congratulations.
congratulations.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
So
do
now-
you mind if I show them, Chris?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the only one I
There
can
you
get.
go.
There it is. Look at that. Third generation.
Yeah.
Third
Oh
generation
my-
Muddy River right there.
I love it.
And I only got, I
Cute.
believe, a picture of, I guess, it's a middle daughter. Let me see here.
Chris, what's your best advice for guys like me trying to balance kids and fishing?
Yeah.
Because fishing takes a lot of time and kids certainly take a lot of time.
So one thing that I've learned is there's 2 kinds of fishing. There's family fishing, and then there's fishing, like what you consider fishing.
Right.
And I used to drag my kids out there, and I'd get mad because they throw rocks, or I'd get mad because they wanted to go do something else. And you got to remember that they're kids, and it's about them at that moment. So when
Yeah.
they're out there, and they got a pole in the water, but they're over there picking up worms or bugs or whatever, right? Let them do their thing, because they're actually enjoying it. They might not be doing what you want them to do, but they're having a good time. If you're
Sure.
barking
Yeah.
at them, getting mad at them, sit down, be quiet, they're not enjoying it, So make it about them, and then make your own time to go fishing with your buddies or by yourself, or you're going to be hardcore about it and sit there, be quiet, do whatever, stay out all night, however you do it. But there's those 2 different types of fishing, and it makes a world of difference when you can open your mind and say, yeah, let these kids have fun, do their thing. If we didn't even catch a fish all day, it still didn't matter because they had a good old time,
Yeah,
It's great advice.
That is.
That
Yes.
is.
That's
Yep.
awesome advice.
It's actually giving me the goosebumps
I
because
think I got
that's great advice. Because when I want to go fishing,
Hey.
I almost don't even ask. I just tell her, "Hey, I'm going fishing."
Yeah.
Right.
Is she the new mama,
But
Yeah,
Chris? That's her,
that's
right?
Issa and Noah.
Yeah, Easter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Nice.
yeah, that's
cat.
she's usually the one we see in the videos with you, right?
Yeah, she's been my sidekick. She was since day one, and then she went her own way. My oldest daughter never really got too much into the fishing. She's probably in about, I think, 2 videos, but she never really kind of got into it. So she did her own thing. But yeah, my daughter Issa, she was there all the time, and now Alex, he goes out there with me and stuff. Now it's a little harder to make videos now with the guiding and everything, but I still try to get out there and make it happen.
It says, here's what it says. Paul Vega says, "Would you do a guided fishing trip on the Rio Grande River?"
So I get that question a lot, and right now I'll explain it so that everybody can hear it. The section of river that I fished in my videos is like sacred ground to me,
No.
and because I've fished it for over 20 plus years, um, I've explored it. I've found spots that I know no one's ever been to before because I've had to physically make paths to get to them. I've raised my kids fishing there. And so if I ever take somebody out there, number one, it's never for money. I will never take a penny to take someone out there. And number two, I have to completely trust you that you're not going to go right back out there and take your buddies and take advantage of that spot.
Yep.
So
No.
do I guide out there? I only take people that I can trust out there.
So friends and family.
Friends and family, or people that I've gotten to know over the years. There's actually people that I mean, it's to the point that I have people that'll try to befriend me. Hey man, what's up? Hey, we should get together and hang out. I'll buy you lunch. Let's go fishing. So I take them fishing, and I'll take them to some random spot, and we'll go fish, and then just to see what happens. And sure enough, like next weekend, they're there posting pics that they're fishing in this spot that I took them to. Right? Little do they know it's not
Ew.
anything special, but
yeah,
that's me testing them because I already know. I know where this is going. I've actually had a guy hire me for my guided trip on the lake and question me for 6 hours straight on where I fish for flathead catfish. I'm
Wow.
ready to kick him off the boat, man.
Mm.
For a little context for people that are watching that aren't familiar, can you kind of explain the Rio Grande and what kind of body of water that is and why it's so special to you?
Rio Grande River. Well, it's cuts the state in half pretty much. It's not like any river you guys are used to, like the Ohio or the Mississippi, or you guys would probably consider it more like a stream. Average depth is about 4 foot deep. You got holes that are maybe 8 foot, 12 foot in a good spot. Um, but because we're in a desert, there's very, very few places to fish. And this one spot that I ended up happening to find, um, it's an oasis in the desert. It's there's nothing like it in the entire state, and so that's why that and me fishing it for years, it's become very precious to me. And I try to educate people who go there because through YouTube, a lot of people have found my spot, and I try to make them understand that the resources are limited. Don't keep all the fish you catch out of there. Selective harvest, put the big ones back,
No.
clean up after yourselves. But yeah, so it's just a special place. I had a guy tell me one time I did this show. I did an outdoor show, and he drives that big old semi aquarium. Have you guys seen that? Like a big
I
old semi
haven't.
trailer,
Mm.
and they fill it with water, and they get fish from the local area, and they stock it, and you can walk around that whole thing. And even the bass fishermen will do seminars where they'll pitch lures in there.
I've seen
Okay.
stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I've
I've seen them
seen
at the
videos.
Sportsman show.
So the guy, we were talking after the show. I did my seminar, and we were talking, and he's like, "Man, you're really passionate about what you do, huh?" I go, "Yeah." I go, "I'm in the wrong state." He goes, "Why do you say that?" I go, "Because I love fishing for catfish, but I'm in the middle of the desert where there's very little water to fish." And he goes, "You're in the right state." I said, "How do you figure?" He says, if you were anywhere else, you'd just be another guy fishing. He says, but because you're in New Mexico, you are who you are.
Hmm.
I said, I never thought about it that way. You got a good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, different perspectives can really open your eyes.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of people targeting cats down there. New Mexico, right?
Yeah, they are now. They're starting to get there. But I mean, not anything like what you guys see in that part of the country. I mean, I could probably count. I mean, since I started fishing for catfish, I can count the boats. You know, I remember the first time I was like, oh look, that guy set up for catfish. Right on. I could tell he'd had the monster
Yeah.
rollers on, and he had the net, and I'm like, yeah. And then now there's probably maybe about 8 or 10 boats set up like that now at my lake. So
Really?
it's growing. There's a lot of bank fishermen, but as you know, watching those boats get set up like that, it's kind of cool, man. It's cool that I've been part of that, you know, in some way.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool. Catfishing, even in Minnesota, I mean, it's grown so much, and
It has.
it used to be rare seeing the boats with headlights and seeing the big cat boats with the big old rod racks on the back, and it's becoming a lot more popular now.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I don't
That's
think it's all because of like, you know, video people, guys that do YouTube and stuff. I think some of it does, but
The attitudes
watching a
have
YouTube video is
changed.
not going to make someone want to go catfish typically or get a catfish boat. Times have changed. I mean, everyone turned into a fisherman during COVID. I mean, and that's good. I mean, people were running out of stuff everywhere, and it was good for businesses. I mean, outdoor stuff was huge for COVID.
Yep.
But I think in general, just seeing, like you said, when you see your first catfish boat, I used the same way, Chris. I used to be like, oh my gosh, that's such a sweet boat set up for catfishing. Now all my friends catfish, so it's just you get kind of acclimated to it. But someone commented, Chris, that says, I took my friend from work and his son, a 4-year-old, out fishing. I taught his son to fish, and he outfished both of us. By the end of the day, he was casting his own and catching bluegills. That's pretty
Mhm.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, that's what it started.
That's
Bluegill was
awesome. And
everybody's
you
first
know
love.
that kid's hooked now, and he's gonna
Oh,
be at it
yeah.
all the time.
I'm starting my kids with flatheads, so I'm just going to put them right into it.
Just throw 'em right in.
Should we bring Cecilia out on the river for her first time?
No. God, that'd be horrible. If I was a kid, I would never want to do that right away. Gosh, Gotta get
That would
worked
just
in.
scare them.
Yeah.
Picturing that.
Imagine flatheads, and then imagine using one rod,
And
Chris.
Paula's rubbing it in everybody's face.
What'd she say?
And she says, I've been there to Chris's secret spot.
Oh,
Whoa.
there was a time Chris said I could come and he would take me there. I think he trusts me.
Yeah, man. I mean, if I trust you enough to drive that motorcycle, man.
That's true.
That's
a good point. Yeah, we
Yeah.
cruised the sunset until the sun went
So,
down.
so I'll tell you guys a story. So when we went to visit Chris and really my nephew, he wanted to fish, and I didn't know. And that side of Chris's, I'd never been on that part of the river. So we asked Chris, "Hey, where can I take him?" You know. So then Chris told me more likely where to go. I kind of already knew what it was, so I went to that spot, and there's like a ditch coming off of the Rio Grande irrigation ditch, and I told him, you know, you can start fishing for bass, but then he would tell me, well, but that's not where he fishes. I've seen the videos. He says, oh, it's because he knocked down the trees. He said, no, this isn't the same place, you know.
Oh.
Anyways, so I put on some spinnerbaits that we had, and he started catching bass about, I want to say maybe 8-10 inch bass, and he had a blast. But he later on, when we well, the next day anyway. Sorry, I lost my track of this guy. But yeah,
Take your time.
we wanted to fish some bass. My compadre, the one I took down there, and his friends wanted. They wanted to fish bass. They were big bass, you know. And I told him, yeah, you know, there's a place I can show you how to get there, you know, and we're gonna go there tomorrow. But you guys can go there today if you want to. If not, you can go with me tomorrow. And there's like this fork, Chris, over and behind Santa Teresa. There's a fork that meets behind this farm that we have access to. Is behind like a pecan farm, and where that fork meets, the water it'll lose some water, but it'll still retain because it's about maybe a 40-yard wide little fork that's there. It's always, you know, I've known that forever. And so true what Chris said. The next day when we got there was dead fish on the bank. There was trash everywhere. And I told him never again will I ever tell anybody where to come. I said, this is the place that me and my dad used to come fish when I was a kid. And now this place is ruined. So when we called them, we asked them, hey, did you guys catch this? Yeah, we caught him, but we didn't want to take him home. And so we just left them there in the bank because they were dead anyways. Because there's a lot of down there. There's a lot of that mentality that whatever you catch, you take home.
Yep.
And when sometimes they take them home, and they don't clean them, they go in the trash because they get home and now they don't want to clean them, and then they go straight to the trash. And it's so true. It's just that culture down there. And there's a lot that are now more, into the catch and release and or take what select what you really want to take home and eat that you're really going to eat. But for the most part, everything they take home, anything they catch, I mean, they can catch bluegill 3 inches, and they'll take them home. To just won't release them, even though they're not going to use them for bait or anything. It's just the way it is down there sometimes, and that's it's a bummer.
Yeah.
The new generations, they're more active with the catch and release. There's a lot of bass fishermen down there now. It's so true. When I went down there, I saw so many bass boats. It wasn't even funny. I mean, I even saw bass boats being sold in my hometown, Anthony. There's a place that sells boats, and I don't know what else they sell. There were so many rangers and all kinds of bass boats there that I thought that was really weird because you're not going to see any body of water. You can't put those boats in the river.
Right.
I mean, that current goes pretty fast, right, Chris?
Yeah, it's a decent current. It's real shallow with a lot of sandbars.
Yeah, it's you can't do that. They even say, can you kayak fish in it? Yeah, you can, but by the time you cast, you'll probably be a mile down.
Sheesh.
So
Yeah.
there's no way to anchor off there.
How's YouTube going? Are you still putting out decent amount of videos, Chris?
There's a combination of things that have hurt me. The guide service has really taken up a lot of my weekends, and then I try to do. Fran taught me into it. She's like, you need to make one weekend or at least one day just for you to go do something for you. And I'm like, yeah. And of course, one day for them to go fishing or do something. And so the problem that I run into is my spot has become so well known that it's a big gamble as to whether someone's going to be there or not. So there's times that I drive out there and I get there and there's somebody there. And it's not the kind of spot that, oh, someone's here, I'll drive down, a few yards and fish here. It's either you're there or you're not there, and you struck out, and you got to go way back to wherever the heck you came from.
You can't go like 20 yards down and cut them off.
No, it's full of trees. There's no access. It's so
Sure.
So it's a little bit of a gamble. Sometimes I'll run into that problem where I go out and then someone's there, so I can't really fish. Or the other problem I have is the dang wind. It's always windy over here. So I'll get a weekend or a free evening for myself, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go fish. I'm gonna make a video, and the wind's just roaring. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I hate wind.
do get a
Sounds
video
like
here and there.
Minnesota
Yep.
on my day off.
Yeah, I
Tara, do you have
I
anything?
get 1 or 2 videos out every once in a while.
Well, I know Tara was really excited to have you on.
Yeah, you want to know why?
Yeah, I
Let
want
me
to hear
tell
it.
you.
Let's hear
Let
it.
me tell you. So I'm new to catfishing. I've been catfishing for like 3 years now. And I started at YouTube to try to figure out what the heck I was doing because I didn't really have anyone to show me right when I started. And your videos were the ones that taught me the most and really laid the foundation for the catfisher woman I am now. And I always tell Luke this. I'm like, I haven't seen a comparable. Your first like how-to videos were like you had your airbrushed painting.
She's
of
saying
the
that she's saying like you're not. Nothing compares to you while she's sitting next to me. It kind of hurts my heart. I'm gonna be 100% honest,
Whoa.
which is fine.
Gosh, why you
I'm
always
just
have to-
kidding. If it's anyone that doesn't bother me, it's Chris. So.
Yeah. Yeah, those are great videos. I will always refer people to those videos.
Well,
We
thank
got
you so
Paul-
much.
Paul.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We got Paul Vega.
What did he say?
He says, "Go down to Carlsbad, New Mexico, and we'll fish the pecos at Black River."
I've never been there.
Oh, that's it. That's a nice. That's
I've
a
been to
nice-
New Mexico. I've been to the Four Corners. That's it.
And then Carlsbad they also have the Camerons.
So, do you fish cats like all year long? Then, what are the temps like? I guess.
See,
you
Chris,
know?
yeah, Chris,
'Cause they
can you?
don't bite around here all year.
Yeah,
round.
so
they shut down in the winter.
they think that we have access to the Rio Grande all year round.
I don't
they
know. I have no idea. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
So the Rio they shut it off every year to conserve water. So I think this month or this year it's only going to run like a month and then they're going to shut it off. So the river from south of Elephant Butte Lake, it'll dry up completely. There'll be maybe some little holes here and there, but the further south you go, the more sandy it is, and it just sucks up all the water. So anything south of the Elephant Butte, Caballo Lake is gonna dry up, and the fish are gonna just die. It's pretty sad, but that's just how things are here. Now the lake itself, you can fish it all year round. The blue cats are active all year round. So
That's awesome.
I'll guide all year. I'll be the only guide out there in the wintertime because I'm the only catfish guide, and everybody else that does white bass and walleye, it's a seasonal thing more so. So they hang it up. You know, I think September, October or something like that is the last I see them, and I have the lake all to myself all winter long. I love it.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, his last video, he caught a flathead with a cast net. Luke and I were just out last night trying to catch flathead, and I was like, wow, it's sure different down
That's
there.
true. We waited out. It didn't take long to get one last night.
Yeah.
It took like 20 minutes.
He threw
maybe.
a cast net.
That's
Caught
true.
one.
I've never got one in a cast net. I can say that. You usually get the white bass in the cast nets because that's what's always eating the shad.
Makes sense.
Right.
What do we got here? Oh,
I'm gonna add a picture real quick.
We're having some
I'm-
technical difficulties.
does that volume go down on that? Jeez.
Is your son still working on his YouTube? Whoa. Echo.
Yeah, he's still got that YouTube channel going. He'll put out a video here and there. He's
Cool.
he's actually pretty good with it. I'm pretty proud of him. I've been telling Issa since forever to do her own channel. I said, I know you'll do great. She gets out there and she's just living life. She was parasailing. She was at the beach. She went to the Smoky Mountains. She's all over the place doing all kinds of stuff. I said, get it on video, girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
Heck yeah.
Dad.
She seems very personable. She seems like she'd be good at that.
Yeah.
Gosh, man. Are you is Flatheads running hard right now?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. They'll bite.
Cast
They'll bite
nets.
all year. I mean, they'll bite from late April till our first cold front, September, October, around there.
Our pre-spawn just started getting hot. Like
Yeah.
our water went up 18 feet and it's just starting to go below the bank now. So the woods aren't all flooded with fish now, so everything's kind of contained. And pre-spawn, water's like 65 degrees. Why do I keep hearing myself?
I don't know.
Chewy's got something going.
Jeez, Chewy's doing something. I don't know what he's doing, Chris. What's that?
I got my first bite about 2 weeks ago, Chris. It was a 37 pounder.
Hey.
Nice.
Mine was only 36 last night.
So I got a picture here real quick. Sorry, and
It's okay, buddy. You'll
That's a
catch
big
up.
fish.
I apologize about the echoes and stuff, but this is the Rio Grande. This is the Rio Grande. This isn't my picture, but this is what it looked like when I went down there this March.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
super deep. How deep was that there?
Right? Yeah, all the fish. I could tell you where all the fish are right now.
That's a weird watercolor.
No wonder they're so good at
Yeah,
noodling.
this is where you release the balloon, so that you can see where the current goes, with the wind and the sand. See, like this right here. This is the spot right there.
That was
Yeah.
another thing I
Yes.
loved about your videos is you could show like you literally walk the bottom of the river to like show the
Right.
log jams and like it's just so cool.
Well, thank
Yeah, you can't do that here.
You can't.
No, you can do it once.
Yep.
That's
Do
about
it.
right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you go from flooded timber and 6 inches of water here to 40-foot holes. It's weird.
Yeah,
Yup.
it's
Straight down.
yep.
So I got to start. You know where Anapra is, right, Chris? There, Anapra.
I've heard
Going
of it. I'm
almost
not-
to El
I'm not sure
Paso.
Okay.
It's called Anapra. It's like you cross the bridge. There's a bridge that crosses over the river, and there's an old building there where all the Pachucos used to like have a nightclub there.
Okay.
And we were fishing. I don't know if it's appropriate, but well, I'm gonna tell it anyways. It's pretty funny.
Let her rip.
So we were fishing there on the other side of the bridge, which would be the north side of the river, and we see these guys and coming over, and they're trying to swim over, and we don't understand why they want to swim over, right? And the bridge is just like 200 feet away. I mean, our car was literally parked under the bridge, and they want to cross over, and we were like, "Hey, what are you guys doing? The current's too fast. You guys are gonna drown." And they weren't paying any attention. So then they got scared. They got out of the water and they hit. And then they tried to do it. They tried to cross again. And we stopped them. And then finally, my uncle had walked across the river, walked up to them and told them, "Hey, what are you guys doing? What do you guys want to swim over? You can walk over." And he says, "Well, we don't want to get caught." And then, "What do you mean you want to get caught?" And he says, "Yeah, we came from the other side. We came from Mexico. We don't want to get caught." And my uncle started laughing. He says, "Well, you already made it because you're already in the States. You're good, brothers." They literally crossed through this. I don't know how they got through. I mean, back then, obviously that wall wasn't there. But they had crossed over. They crossed through a construction site that's like a gravel pit that used to be behind her. I think it was called Asarco, no, Chris? It was
Yeah,
part of
Asarco.
Asarco, a little bit more down.
Yep.
They had crossed, but because they had told them that they had to cross the Rio Grande to get to the States, it's not that they needed to cross to get to the States. Then that's why they were going for the bridge. Well, anyways, they didn't know that they were in the States, that they were just in the section of land that was already in the United States. They didn't have to cross over anyways. That's my
Wow.
story.
I bet they were jazzed.
They kicked back, we made lunch, it was cool. And well, it's just one of those things that even
And then what?
even for me that I grew up there, I never seen that ever happen. Even though I grew up there, I never seen anybody cross over, or through the river. But now I know, and it's a pretty funny story how these guys are really, 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 really concerned, and they were trying to swim. I mean, I'm pretty sure that most of the time when they try to do that, especially in that section, it goes really, really fast.
Right.
Really fast. There's no way he would
Doesn't
make it.
go well.
And he was using and I remember that he had some airbags that he had just a grocery bags that they had trapped there in, and that was their flotation device.
Grocery bags?
Grocery bags.
Oh,
They were from the other side.
Ay, ay, ay. Dang.
You have
That's my
an let's talk a little bit about, do you have any goals for either your YouTube or for guiding this year, or are you booked up?
I'm always at least 2 months out in my guide service. I'm always booked with that. It's been a blessing. YouTube has really been a blessing for me, especially starting out with lines of like fishing rods or the guide service. Had I done it the other way around, if I would have just said, "I'm going to start a guide service," no one would have known who I was. I'd have to build a reputation. But since I did it the other way around, as soon as I announced I was doing a guide service, I started getting phone calls. So it's been a true blessing.
So
Goals,
sorry. Go ahead.
long term.
Can't hear you anyways. So
Long-term goals, I'd like to buy a house out there at Elephant Butte Lake, and then what I want to do is like an Airbnb, so when people come and stay, they could stay at my place and then just go fishing with me. It's like a package deal.
Sweet.
And then
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
do that for a while, and then after my son gets older, move out there and live in that house and just guide like 4 or 5 days a week.
And you want to stay in New Mexico, or do you eventually want to make your way down to the Tennessee River and really send her home?
You know what? I like it. I fished the Tennessee River, and it's beautiful out there, Smoky Mountains, all that stuff. And
Yep.
but I kind of like where I'm at. It's
Yeah.
just, it's home.
There's no place. There's no place like home.
Yeah.
That's what Dorothy says.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I got a river story for you, Chewy. It's kind of
Yeah.
match what you're talking about.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
So I went out to catch bait one time, and I parked, and there's this little spot where one of the ditches spills into the river, and I'm throwing my cast net and catching bait, and I look across the river and I see this truck drive up and it parks, and then I'm just kind of watching them, see what they're up to, and the guy's getting some fishing poles and stuff. He's just going about his business, and then I see him kind of freeze, right, and he looks and he sees me. But I just kind of act nonchalant about it, keep throwing my net. And then I hear him, "Is that you, Chris?" And I go, "Yeah, what's up, bro?" He's like, "Holy crap." And then I just hear a splash, right? And I look, the guy dives in the river. And I'm like, what the heck's he doing? He swims across the entire river, comes out on the bank where I'm at, just like soaking wet, huffing and puffing. Dude, I had to come meet you and shake your hand, bro. I would have
Sounds like something Dan would
Yeah,
do.
I'm not. I don't even think that's funny. I would have done the same thing. Sorry, bro.
Oh, you don't
Yeah,
understand
that
that.
was crazy, man.
That current in that river can be really dangerous. I mean, we've seen. a lot
How
of
crazy is
videos.
that current?
I think it depends on where you're at. There's
Yeah.
some
Time of year.
when that river's full and going in certain spots, it gets pretty fast. But at the same time, right now, mid-June, they always have like Raft the Rio, stuff like that. So there's guys out there in float tubes and inner tubes and homemade boats. I don't know if you guys saw that video where I made that homemade catfish.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I should have downloaded a picture. I forgot about that picture.
What was it?
He made a big boat, and it was a catfish.
Oh,
I'll
that's
see if I can
awesome.
get it. Let me
20
see if I
foot
can do
long
it right this
catfish.
Don't do that
Yeah,
again.
don't
do
do
that
the
again.
echo thing. Can't you turn your volume off when you're doing that, Chewy?
I think I can.
Seems like it'd make
He
it a lot
thinks he
better.
can.
We didn't do it last time.
What else was I going to ask you? I forgot. I had something else to talk to you about. Are you going to be doing the next Catfish conference when it comes up?
I try to be at every single one, man. So
Are you
yeah.
gonna go
What
to the
about you?
Kansas City one?
Yeah, we missed you at Kansas City, man. We were looking forward to seeing you there.
I tried hard, man. It was like everything was against me. First I had I was waiting for my order of rods to come in so I could have stuff to sell, and they didn't come in on time. And then a friend of mine called me up and said, "Hey, I just bought a boat in Kansas City. I need someone to go pick it up." I was like, "Oh, I'll go get it. Let's go." I get to go hang out at the Catfish conference. I won't have a booth, but I'll go pick up your boat. And then something happened with the boat and not being ready, and then it just all kind of fell apart. So I just couldn't make it. But I plan to be there.
Was it Saturday? Was the conference Saturday? Or was it Friday? Can't remember.
I think it was Friday, Saturday.
I'm not surprised you guys don't remember.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That was a one-time deal.
Or was that Scotty?
Whoa.
I remember.
You know, Chris. They see me like every now and then. I'll drink a beer during the podcast, right? And they think that I drink a lot of beer, and so when they really tell the stories, they think that I'm the one that's that drinks.
My joke was
I don't
directed
drink
at
anymore.
Scotty.
That's what I was pointing at. I'm actually pointing at Scotty, and I'm
Luke,
not pointing at Dan.
I was very good this weekend. I didn't have one beer.
That's pretty good.
That's
Yeah.
because he was fishing with Luke.
It's the little thing.
No,
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
We were just catching so many fish, you didn't have time.
My
Is that
body's
what
like, hey,
happened?
you're getting old now. Can't do this shit anymore.
Scott even gave me his walleye. He didn't want to clean it, so I was like, I'll take it.
There you go.
I think we caught 6.
Yeah, it
Maybe. Yeah,
was a good day.
it wasn't bad.
We had good steaks on the boat.
Six walleyes.
Yeah, vertical jigging.
Yep.
Fun.
Minnows. We tried yesterday again. Same spot. We didn't
Nada.
have minnows though.
Oh,
No.
gotta have leeches.
Leeches worked good.
They were working.
Yeah, really good.
Not
You ever
for me?
you
'Cause I
ever
didn't
catch
have 'em,
walleye,
but-
Chris?
By accident.
Did
Yeah,
you eat it?
I did.
Nice.
It was in my mind forever because I catch them when I'm bluegill fishing. And I'm like, God dang, why are you taking my bait? And then my buddy's like, dude, that's like the best eating.
Yeah.
So one day I was out there catching bluegill. I caught 2 nice walleye, probably about 16, 18 inches. And I It's like, all right. Took them home, cooked them up. Oh man, it was excellent.
Yeah,
They're tasty,
they're
aren't they?
good.
Normally, I just see them as a bait thief, but you
No,
know,
that's how I feel about it when I'm
Yeah.
catching
I
flatheads
tell
I
too.
see them as
Yeah.
dinner most of the
I tell
time.
them
But
Are they stealing your shrimp or what are you?
night crawlers.
Night crawlers. That wasn't on my list. How about
Yeah.
your chicken liver recipe?
He's looking at
Chicken liver chum bait.
Anything?
That's right.
No.
Are his notes under the table?
Maybe.
Oh my gosh.
Chicken liver recipe, Chris?
Chicken liver chum bait, man. It actually works really
chicken
well.
liver
I
chum
think
bait.
one of the key points I forgot to put in that video is to keep it refrigerated or frozen.
Why's that?
Oh man, a couple days out in the sun, that stuff stinks so bad.
yeah.
You want to talk about stink? I cleaned those walleyes caught 3 or 4 days ago.
Your
Had
live
them,
well.
had them in a plastic bag. No, the guts and carcasses were in a plastic bag in the back of my truck, and I forgot about them until
Oh,
yesterday.
man.
It was
Mm.
not. I almost threw up.
Gnarly.
You all know that smell if you've cleaned fish and
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
about them.
I feel bad for my garbage lady.
I can't say I put mine in my own garbage, so I got a trick of the trade.
I got a
Gotta think,
question for
who-
you guys.
Yeah.
Since you guys are up there where you get frozen lakes and all that stuff, and I don't really experience that here. I got so excited one time because I went up to the north end of my lake and there was like a 1/4 inch of ice, and I was crushing it with my boat. It was like the coolest thing ever. That's rare, you know.
Yeah.
But so tell me, can you catch these flatheads when it's frozen solid and it's super cold?
Catch?
that-
You can-
Not
you can
really.
catch 'em. It's you're snagging them, but yeah, I mean they're available.
You can
But they're
acquire
not
them.
they're
yes.
not actually biting, right? You're just
No.
kind of
No.
hooking them.
You're just hooking them.
Yep.
There comes a point where we're so far north in the region, and that gets into the whole torpor thing of wintering flatheads. Up in this region, I mean, there's parts of Iowa where you can catch them in the winter, in certain bodies of water. But when you get as much ice as we get for so long, they've changed over time where they can. It's the same species of fish, but they've accumulated to what they're living in, and they'll literally just pile on top of each other, by the hundreds, and just lay on each other and won't feed. I mean, yeah, you're snagging them if you're on the ice. Typically, I mean, there's maybe a chance. So here's the thing, Chris. Here's with me and wintering flatheads. I've gotten into arguments with people about this before. People say they have to eat. They don't have to eat. I mean, it's proven. Tank studies proved it. They do not
Right.
have to feed. They do not one bit have to feed. Second off, even if you do catch a flathead in the winter, it's very unethical because that flathead's laying with 50 other ones laying on top of each other. So you're targeting a fish that's helpless, that can't move,
Mhm.
that is just sitting there with its buddies. I mean, you've probably seen the video, Chris, of that
Right.
my friend Brian Clawitter did. That's what every wintering hole here looks like in the winter. If you put a camera down, there's hundreds of flatheads just laying on each other in a hole, not moving.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's the whole idea of even if they do bite, even if one bites, which we haven't seen one bite on camera yet, you're still sitting on top of a wintering hole. So that's why we got flathead closed here in Minnesota now in the winter. So
Yep. Flatheads don't open till early
April
April.
1st.
Yeah, April 1st. Yeah. But I mean, you catch them when you're snag them when you're
Yeah.
walleye fishing, and the tendency is always to set the hook, right?
Yep.
When you feel something heavy, you got to set
Right.
the hook.
yeah,
But when you throw it back down and you can feel it hit the flathead's mouth and then hit the bottom, like they're stacked. You can feel your
it's like you're
I use that-
dropping down a bunch of wood, but it's
Yeah,
flatheads.
Yeah.
yeah. So you could literally snag them all day long if you wanted to. Yeah, but they wake up when you do snag them.
But those fit like I reeled in like I got a 38 pounder this late this really
Oh, you
early
savage.
early spring when the water was still really really cold, and I knew I was close to the wintering hole, and I ended up moving after it. The walleye hang out by the wintering holes. That's just how it is in the spring and in certain spots. And sometimes you snag one. I got it up as fast as I could. I was holding my spool, brought it up as fast as I could with my medium light rod, which in the summer that ain't happening.
Mm.
I mean, it's just pretty much dead weight. They pull a little bit, but I unhooked it and let it go right back down. But people sit there for an hour and a half fighting a flathead, and I don't know what that does to them. But
Yeah, if you're walking out on the river and you see 3 holes punched next to each other, that's a wintering hole.
Oh,
Right.
And you don't walleye fish. I mean,
Yeah.
we usually mark them with sticks,
yeah,
or I do at least when I bump into them and you know they're there. I'll mark it with a stick
you just move.
just so I don't accidentally bump into them again.
Yep, we gotta watch these guys. Probably snag about 6 of them. I was in the boat, which I'm part of the workshop group with the DNR. Darren Troseth was in the boat with me, who helped pass the law to close the season for wintering. And then John, my friend John, we were in his boat. And these guys snagged like 6 flatheads in 5 minutes, giant ones. And we're like, you guys realize they're just wintering there and the season's closed. Like you that's all you're catching is snagging flatheads. And they're like, we didn't know. And they left. I mean, then maybe they didn't know, but obviously, something's up.
Yeah.
Got a question here.
Oh, we got a question, Chris. You want to go for it?
Brandon, I can't say his last name.
Nyquist.
Nyquist.
Nyquist, okay. Chris, what is your bait of choice for the flats during the summer?
Bait of choice for flatheads, and I think that's gonna vary on where you're fishing as far as your bodies of water. But for me, I've noticed
I got
I've done
notes,
the
buddy.
comparison of live bait versus cut bait, and I catch them just as much on cut bait as I would on live bait, to the point where it's more of a hassle to try to keep my bait alive than to just take fresh cut bait.
Yeah.
So I'll use fresh cut gizzard shad or fresh cut carp, and I'll catch flatheads all day long.
Carp.
Do you let go of the shrimp or what? That was on my notes. No shrimp?
Yeah. So shrimp, night crawlers, chicken liver chum bait, all these other baits that I've used in the past, I've noticed that they'll catch me small to medium sized fish.
Sure.
But then the fresh cut bait is what's bringing in the bigger fish. So,
Yep.
and me, I always want to catch the biggest fish I can catch, so I just stick to cut bait.
That seems easier.
When you bring
Yeah.
clients out, are you fishing cut or are you fishing with your
No.
mix?
It's all cut bait.
All
I'll
cut
make
bait.
sure I get fresh cut bait and take the clients out with that. So
So
yeah.
I think I found the picture of the boat. I think this is it, Chris. Let me know if it is.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god!
That's amazing.
Wait,
Oh
you
my
made
God.
that?
I made that
Dude, that's sick.
That's
out of
awesome.
some plywood, a few barrels, some PVC pipe, and some cloth and some spray paint.
How long did it take you to make it?
I think it took me 3 days to make it. I remember we had never participated in the Wrap the Rio, and I told the family, I said, we're going to do it this year. I said, I'm going to make a big old catfish somehow. So I drug out some scrap boards and whatnot and ended up building that thing. And we got out there, ended up winning champions of the river that year. So that was pretty cool.
I bet.
Where does that sit now?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the thing is, what do you do with a big old 20-foot catfish that you use one time, right?
Yeah.
So it sat in my yard for I think like 2 years, and the kids, it was like their clubhouse, and they play in there, and then it
Fun.
finally started like deteriorating from the sun, and I ended up just junking it. But yeah, it was
Wow.
I got some pictures I want to go through here real quick, and then here's one here with.
oh, there's a man
Oh,
right there.
Look at you
Well, look,
guys.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, we're doing it right there,
Very
Chris.
cute.
I did see someone before we go through a little. We can go through these too, but as I'm talking, but someone commented his son's in Staples, Minnesota, which is by the Mississippi River. So I would tell your son,
Yeah.
Snake River,
Yeah.
if you're watching or listening still, send him to the Mississippi. There's channel cats up in that part of the Mississippi River. So flatheads, you got to go kind of below pool one or below St. Anthony Falls to start getting flatheads, but there's channels right by Staples there on the Mississippi. You can even go to the horseshoe chain over by St. Cloud. It's also a really good fishery for channel cats.
Is it just me or are all of those way lighter colored than
Yeah,
up here?
they are.
Yeah.
They're very
Yeah,
different.
catfish are-
Look
It
at
probably
this one.
has a lot to do with the sand, I'm
Yeah, the
guessing, instead of the mud.
camouflage. Yeah.
It's just whatever water they're in. Flatheads can be so many different colors, which makes them really
There's a
cool.
really bright. Go to that bright yellow one. Like what the?
It's like slate
How
yellow.
How big was that one, Chris? You remember?
He looks like probably 38, 40 pounds, maybe.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Goodness.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a good
and,
one.
and I love this picture. Look at that.
My
Uh-huh.
boat. There's my boat.
Wow.
That's my
Dang,
boat.
Chris. That's nice.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's real
sorry,
nice.
loose lemon.
Real nice.
Thank you.
And then I think Dan wants to know about your
Getting up
setup.
early in the morning.
Yeah, I bet.
The setup right here.
One day.
Aren't you
y'all.
jealous?
Oh
One
man, I
day.
wish I could use sunfish
Chris,
so bad.
Chris can do that and get
Wow.
a and be okay.
Yeah, he can use carp too. We can't
Yeah.
even use carp.
No, can't use carp.
Actually,
Sucks.
carp is illegal in New Mexico.
What?
Oh, really?
Yeah, but there's this thing called statute of limitations. So
Oh,
if you
man.
bring up any of my old videos, let's not talk about it.
And then right here,
I think you got a couple years to go,
the
Chris.
drift socks.
What are we looking at?
Those are drift
Drift socks.
I don't even know what
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah,
Pulls
so-
the current, so it stops your boat from swinging,
Yeah.
swinging back and forth.
We
Yeah.
need some drift socks.
That looks like it gets in the
Could
way of
use them.
fish.
And then
It does, but
Uh-huh.
it keeps me out there when it's windy. So like on
Yeah.
a day that's 18, 20 mile an hour winds, I'll have 4 socks out like that.
Yeah.
And it slows me down to a 0.5, 0.7 where I can drag my baits.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Oh, so you're dragging
Okay.
bait
But you
all
do
the
when you're
time.
anchored too. You can.
Then-
Oh.
and then I got a picture you and your son, I believe.
Wow.
Good old days.
Yeah, dude, so him and Chris go back and forth through these pictures, and I put some on here because I just thought they're funny. I was trying to contact Dave so we can have him on, but that's how Chris got him back.
Beautiful.
And I like that one. It's like the natural leader. That's like perfect, like a perfect fit. And they just go back and forth, these picture.
But at least you got pictures of the sunset.
This is
If you zoom in on that picture, it's my face with another guy named Tim on the book.
oh, I don't think I can zoom
That's a
into
lot
that
of
one.
effort.
I wish I could zoom. I didn't even know that.
I
That's you in the
love that.
background, though, right?
Yeah, that's me in the background with the lake all to myself. And Dave's sitting there with his
With his book.
study, reading Fishing for Dummies.
I love that.
I like. Sorry,
Oh
I love that one.
my Gosh.
This is the Bon Boy honor.
Chris made it. Chris took a.
Oh no.
Jesus.
Oh my.
Butter Chris.
This is here's Chris and Chris.
So
That's my
is that
stunt
what you were
double right
talking
there.
about?
Yeah, this is the one they meet. The next day we were in Kansas. One of Luke's friends told me, "Hey, Chris is here. We just saw him." So I was like, "Where is he?" He's over there. So we walk up to, I guess, where they have the seminars, and then I saw him. I saw that on the cart with the shirt on, and I was like,
What?
what? And he's like, "Oh, Chris is here. Look." And I'm like, "That's-" and then I'm all like, out of it. We just woke up, and I'm like, "That's not Chris."
I would have loved
then
to
they
see
started
that
laughing.
happen.
But I was really happy because I thought he had made it because they said he might make it.
Yeah.
So we were all excited.
Y'all are so goofy.
And then we got some pictures here of Dan with some of the catches he's done fishing the rods here. I'll show them real quick, Chris. And
Yeah, these are all. That was my first one off the Muddy River Catfishing pole right there.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
ooh,
I like that.
Yeah.
Chonky.
That was probably me showing off new hats that Chewy gives me. Yeah.
and there's that picture where he knocked off his rod, so you only see those.
Nah,
Chris.
those are my buddy Arnie's rods. Those stayed in the rod holder all night.
Wow.
Nice.
And that's James.
Yeah.
That's his fishing partner. 47 pounds.
Good one.
Yeah.
That's his biggest. That's his PB.
47? you said?
47 pounds.
That was his first time out on a boat. That's my 15-foot boat. So it got a little 7.7 on it, Chris. You'd be proud of me.
Hey, what's this podcast rated?
It's rated between PG-13 and R.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got a
depending
story for
on-
you guys.
Let's
Okay.
hear it. I'm excited.
So first I want to give a shout out to Darla Catfishing Life. Darla and Judy Booty are guys. It's two guys, okay? And
Wait, what?
yeah.
Just
So
follow.
I these guys booked a trip with me, right? And they're calling each other girls' names, and I'm like, what the heck? So yeah, the one guy calls himself Judy Booty, and the other guy calls himself Darla, and they're actually
What?
two guys, right? And so
I don't know.
I'm just
This
like
is awesome.
totally confused. I don't know these guys' real names. I don't know if they're serious. I don't know what's going on. But we go out fishing, and we tear up the fish, man. We caught tons and tons of fish, and it was so awesome, right? We had a great time. Well, at the end of the day, Darla asked me. He says, "Hey, man, do you have any posters of your guide service?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Do you mind mailing me one?" I go, "Yeah, I'll mail you one. Hit me up on Facebook." And I'll give me your email address. I mean your mailing address, and I'll ship it out to you, right? So he ends up hitting me up on Facebook Messenger, and his name comes out, Darla MTZ, right? And I'm just like, all right. So I'm packing all these orders, and these guys obviously they've got a sense of humor, right? Because they call each other girls' names and everything, and so I go to type his name in for the shipping, and I'm like, I don't even know this guy's real name. I go, I'm not gonna put Darla on there. Is that Darla? MTZ? I don't know. I said, you know what? I'm gonna play a joke on these guys. They like to joke around. I'll joke around. So I type in the name DEE, and then I put SNUTZ, right?
Got him.
So I ship it out. I go to UPS, and I hand my stuff out. I know the girl. I'm in there every day, and I'm handing them all my stuff. And she grabs this tube, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, Chris, seriously?" So I'm looking what this guy's sending out. Deez Nuts. I'm like, so we ship it out. Whatever. End of story. I go about my business. Well, Darla messages me like a week later. He's like, "Hey, did you ever send that package out?" I go, "Yeah, I sent it like a week ago, man. You should have probably gotten it by now. You're only up in Santa Fe. Should have been there like within 3 days." He's like, "No, we never got anything." I said, "All right." So another week or so goes by, and still nothing, right? So I go into UPS with some more stuff to drop off, and the girl goes, "Hey, Chris, one of your packages got returned." I was like, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, the Deez Nuts one." I'm like, "What do you mean it got returned?" I'm like, "These guys, right?" I'm like, so
Wait, they sent it back?
they sent it back, right?
Oh my gosh.
So I messaged the guy. I was like, "Hey, your package was returned." He's like, "What?" He goes, "That doesn't make any sense." And then he's like, "Wait a minute." I was like, "Wait a minute, what?" He says, "Did it say Deez Nuts on it?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Bro, that was my dad's address. You sent it to my dad." So then he tells me, he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "My dad was like, Mijo, I think somebody's trying to send me some porn because I got I rejected it. I don't want that in my house."
What a twist.
That's
I
awesome,
was not
dude.
ready for that.
Oh man, that's
So,
awesome.
anyways, long story short, it got rejected. I still put the same name and shipped it right back to him.
So what's the story between them calling Judy Booty and Darla?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess the guy Judy is Justin, and somehow or another he got the nickname Judy, and then the other guy's name was Daniel, and then he started calling him Darla, and then they just stuck with those names, and that's their nicknames now.
Did you see there in chat?
Yeah,
it's
it's
true. That's amazing.
I love
Dang,
that.
That's commitment. Wow.
I love
man.
that.
That's so awesome.
That's a
dude.
good one to end on.
I
Yeah.
That's a
like
great
it.
one to end on. Chris,
Any other questions that you guys might have? You prepared for this
Dan?
interview?
No, I'm good, Chris. It was very nice to meet you. Oh, it was very nice to meet you. Thanks for coming, man.
It's good
So, Chris,
meeting all
how-
you guys.
if people want to get in contact with you, if they want to get taken out fishing in New Mexico, how should they get a hold of you?
The best way is honestly just call or text me. My phone number is area code 575-650-5773. You can
That's
email me, but it takes me longer to get to my emails.
Yep.
But a text message I can get to you right away, or a phone call. I'm right there. So, and like I said, it's about 2 months out. If you guys want to go fishing with me, keep in mind that it's going to be 2 months from the time we speak.
When are you gonna make it up here to do some muddy cats?
Yay.
Man.
Some real muddy cats, not them sandy
Yeah,
cats.
Sandy.
I want to get out there. It'd be awesome. When's the best time to fish out there?
Right now.
Right now.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
time of year,
probably.
too?
It's within a week or two.
I've tried to
probably.
convince him to come sturgeon fishing with me.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Do that let's figure something out this fall. Let's get you down here one weekend. You can be on the
Yeah.
you can be one of the hosts on the podcast that week or something. That'd be kind of fun.
Oh
Come in
my
the winter, we can
God.
snag some cats. It'll be fun.
Oh.
You just won't let Luke know.
Don't let me know. Well, we appreciate you coming on, and me and Chewy and everyone else here
Yeah, man.
have been super excited.
Yeah.
I was actually, even though we've been friends for so long, I was kind of nervous just because I look up to you so much. So it's fun having you on here.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate all you guys. It's been a pleasure, man.
Been a good time.
We'll keep in touch, and
Yeah.
we'll keep selling your rods at the bait shop here.
For sure.
Sounds great. Thank you
All right, we'll
guys
see
for all the
ya
love and
in-
support, man.
We'll see
Yeah,
you in
you got it.
Kansas City.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Kansas
Yeah.
City, or in the fall,
Or
here in
this fall,
Minnesota.
yeah.
Sturgey.
That'll be awesome.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks,
Appreciate it, man.
Chris.
Thank you, guys.
See you, man.
See ya.
That was fun.
Wow.
It
Yeah,
was.
that was
What
a
a
good time.
guy.
He's just as nice and he's the same all the time.
He is.
Just
He's
a good
cool
dude.
guy.
He'd be entertaining to fish with for sure.
Gosh.
He is. I've never fished with him, but I've hung out with him. Had the pleasure of meeting his family, and it's cool, man. It's class act.
He is.
Yeah.
And they see our picture. There's a picture up there of me and my brother-in-law and my nephew with Chris. And we took a picture
Mhm.
together, and they recognize him, and they're like, "Oh, you know Chris?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know Chris." Yeah. No, they see him now. But it's
Oh,
kind
no
of, yeah,
big
they
deal.
get a kick. Oh, you know Chris? I say, "Yeah, I am from El Paso." you
First
know.
day I met you, you said that. I was
Yeah,
like, "Oh, you got Muddy River stuff." He's like, "Yeah, I know Chris." I was like, "Yeah, I know Chris too." He's like, "Are you that guy from
Look-
YouTube that we
look
watch
who's
in
there.
Are
here?"
you that guy from YouTube?
You're the guy from YouTube that nobody wants to talk to.
Yeah, are you that one dude nobody likes? Yeah, that's me.
Oh man.
Taking all our bullheads.
Giving
That's
away all
right.
our spots.
Yeah. But just so you guys know, I mean, Chris guides out there in New Mexico. So if you do want to get a trip, get a hold of him right away because he's gonna be he's 2 months back, like he said. So make sure you get in on there and take advantage of that. He's just a class act and good fisherman. Been around a long time doing it. So
Wow.
also in recent news is rods are still up in the bait shop. All the stickers, all the cool vinyl stickers are out now. The Carver stickers, my stickers are out. They got it all remodeled in there. Hellcats are coming in. Catch a Fever rods are going to be coming in the shop. They still got some Mad Cats. They got not very many Muddy River rods left. They got some Catfish Pro rods. A couple Warrior Cat rods. Were you kicking me to tell me something?
No,
or
sorry.
just
I'm
on
resting my
accident.
foot right
Okay.
God.
No, but they're set up here for spring, right, Chewy? I think you guys are about ready to rock and roll hard.
Let's go.
You have anything else, Chewy?
What's that?
Anything else?
No. Sorry, I was
Okay.
texting Chris here real quick.
Oh, he
Yeah.
already misses him.
No, that's it. That's all we got. We got some the new Catfish hooks, Nocturnal.
Nocturnal Nation, which me and
Nation
Tara
hooks.
pro staff now on Nocturnal Nation. They're one
Bought
of our
some this
sponsors.
weekend. They're pretty sweet.
I haven't used them yet.
Yeah.
I'm excited to try it.
We're waiting for the Muddy River Catfishing hooks.
Yeah,
No. Should have brought that up.
have
to
a big
Chris.
selection. Be nice.
What else do we got going? That's all we got going today. We're
Big-
looking forward. This is the highlight of this week is having Chris on the
Yeah,
phone.
this was kind of
that
the
was awesome.
That's
everything
another thing
kind
we've
of
been
downhill
looking
from here
forward
now.
Everything's
Yeah.
down.
We're gonna close the shop. We're closed for the weekend, guys.
It's over. It's over.
Anyways, very good. So you can find Luke at
You can find me at Fish on Luke on YouTube. I just released our second day video. Me and Tara here next door to me here. We went second day from our Wisconsin channel cat trip. We caught a bunch of 20+ pound channel cats. And then the next one, next week, next Wednesday is the big one where Tara gets her world-class, enormous channel cat. of
Giant.
Almost 26 pounds.
Huge.
It's going to be a sweet video. She gets real excited and giggity and
I'm a
yeah.
spaz.
It'll-
Oh,
it'll
yeah,
be
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
It'll be good.
It's fast.
So yeah, it'll be fun. Find me Fish on Luke and Tara.
Terra fishing on TikTok.
Tara
Oh,
Fishing
yeah,
on
TikTok.
I'm the
TikTok.
TikToker of the table.
I guess I'm on TikTok. Well, I have more followers, but we're not going to talk about it. She says she's the TikToker.
I'm gonna go home.
I caught
She's going
caught a
home.
flathead on one of Luke's lives the other day.
And I caught one on her live yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, she's way cooler than me. She gets
140
10 times the
followers in
views.
20
That's funny because
minutes.
Tara, like when she's on, it'll notify me. When you're on, I never.
I
It's
know,
because
it's
she's
really-
better.
Luke, let's be
Aw.
real.
Tell you need to put on some
And
of
then
them.
there's Dan.
You need to put some of those press on
Oh.
nails and start cutting up some worms.
We each have our own
It's
qualities,
true.
Dan. We have our own qualities.
Yeah,
I catch the fish on her stream, so the viewers come,
yeah.
And she looks
Sure.
really good. It freaking works out
Sure.
really nice.
Okay.
Today would have been a great podcast to put on your Shakira
I was
video.
getting old.
Yeah, let's get past that.
Scotty,
We'll put a pin in that one.
you can find Scotty at
Here?
in the corner of the table.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we got Dan.
Sometimes on the river.
We got Dan.
We can find Dan
Lake.
at. Where do you find Dan, Scotty?
On the river
First-
at his
Taking a
house.
nap.
First corner down.
I did see him. I did see him walking with the kid the other day down the street, though. I yelled at you the other day, but I was like, I don't know. He knew it was me.
Can't make it too far in the 7-7.
Right. Oh, there's Dan again sitting on the first corner down.
You can't catch me because I'm outside and Scott passes by. All you hear is, "Hey, pendejo!" Jesus
I
Christ.
hope your grandma's not listening.
No, my grandma's not listening anymore.
Abuela.
My abuelita.
Mhm.
No, she doesn't listen. In.
Only thing you do with the
One
boat
time.
that fast is pass a lot of fish.
Well, you get when you're going slow, you get just kind of relax. I
Uh,
relax pretty hard too, though. Sometimes I'm like, Tara, grab the wheel.
Now relax.
Or Scott.
You call me-
Grab the
He
You
made me
wheel.
call me
drive the
Danny
boat.
Two Cats for a reason.
Danny Two Cats. Yeah, I forgot to tell Chris. If you're listening, Chris, they call him
Danny Two Cats.
Danny Two Cats because he catches two catfishes and he falls asleep.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
But what did you say? If you feel what? A thump on the boat? Or what did you say?
Yeah, or waves when a boat drives by. I wake up sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yep. You can hide pretty good in your little boat.
Yeah, you can.
And where do you find you, Chewy?
You can find me at the bait shop on the weekends. Stoke Fishing, Stoke USA. Then we got the Old Carver Fishing podcast, obviously, and then Old Carver Fishing, bait and tackle. And then I'm gonna start my own YouTube channel so I can compete with Luke and fish on Chewy.
Yeah.
Fish on Chewy.
Which will probably feature Dan.
Very
Feed
creative
two
name.
cats there. Danny Two Cats.
But anyways, man, thank you guys for joining us tonight. It was fun. Thank you, Chris. We appreciate it, and we've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Mhm.
And we'll see you guys soon. Who do we got next week? We got Pedro Trejo. We got Pedro Trejo,
Pedro.
a local that won the
Catfish League.
the catfish. No, he didn't win the catfish
Not
league.
league, but the
Dan and James won the catfish league championship, but
By
Pedro
like
Trejo won.
160 pounds.
All right.
And then the
all
next
right,
time-
all right, all right.
The next week after is what's her name?
Where is that board? I think we should
Katie,
put that like right
Everybody
here.
listen, Dan. Everybody
sorry.
listen. Katie Corge in 2 weeks.
Yeah, she's a really one of
She's
the
a
better.
beast.
She's one of the better anglers. She fishes a lot. She's really good at fishing. Let's just say that.
A beast.
Catches a lot of different fish. She's got a lot of stuff. Most people I know have
Yeah.
never caught. So
Yep.
that'll be a fun one. Get
That'll
some
be
more
a fun
women
one.
anglers in
And
here.
That'll
then
be
we
real
got
fun.
Danny Vu week coming up. Then we got
Ben.
Ben. I forgot his last name.
I don't know if it's Bligan or Blagan.
Yeah.
Legion.
Team USA ice fishing. That I'm looking forward to.
That one's gonna be a
one.
good one.
We got some good ones here.
And then we
No.
got Justin Jordan and Terrell from Lotus Guide Service. The ones that got that Panther Gar.
No.
We'll have them
Okay.
on July 6th.
Yeah, I got some.
believe.
I got some people I'm working on too. I'd like to get some southern, like Tennessee River guides on here. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, that'd be
Even
cool.
like Justin and Tabitha would be fun to have on one of these times too. So yeah, we got some good ones coming up here. We're getting booked on the podcast. So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you guys for coming in today.
Yeah,
It was fun.
Super fun.
pretty fun, man. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time.